in HTML. So basically we do connect Tailwind via CDN. We use a script and we paste that script inside our HTML file. This is index.html, and within this we can write our basic structure. And after we do have all this, we don't need to connect CSS yet, because we are not going to use CSS. We are going to use Tailwind. So what happens is I have this link script that I do paste into our index file, and then what happens is I can now use Tailwind the way I want. So let's see what we do have when I go live. We do have this, and then I will start using Tailwind. When we go to the Tailwind website, that is Tailwind CSS, tailwindcss.com. We've got here, you can check out their docs, but then this is their website. They have got docs, and these are the different guides on how to use Tailwind CSS. They have got colors, and they've got a lot here. They have got themes and all this, so you can look at this and see, but I will show you a basic way to use Tailwind within your project. So I will begin with this is I will begin with this. I will create a class, and this time we do write our CSS, we do write our styles in here. So we've got so many Tailwind classes that we use, and if you really want to master this, you have to keep practicing, and with time you get it overhand. So I will begin with, we've got width, and with width we use W, and we can say width, we can say we do have full. So what I will do is I will mix up, let me create my CSS style.css, and within the style.css I can now target the HTML and use our classes. Display flex, justify content center, align items to the center, and you can say flex direction is column. You can say, I think this is it. We can give it a background color of, you can say this is light gray. So we do come and connect our CSS as well, and we can say this is style, and we'll say this, sorry, so we do now have our styles connected, our CSS connected, and we can look at sorry, we do have this. This is what we do have. Is it really what we have? Do we have an issue here? Okay, so this is what we have. This is supposed to be link, sorry. Okay, So we can look at this. We do have, can try to refresh, and this is what we have. So we are going to be channeling from CSS to Tailwind. So we head back to our div and can use width full, and we can say we can use a case. We can say maybe we need, I will create 2 containers anyway, so I will use this. I say width full. I can give it some background color. Sorry, with background color we use BG, and I can say BG white. And then I will say maybe I want this in flex. I will say flex, and I will say items center, and I will say flex row, flex column. I need it to be a column. Let me leave it as a row. Then I can give it some height of about 24. So we can check and see what we do have. I will close all this confusing me. So this, still we do have this. And then I can go ahead and add a p tag here with some lorem, about 20. See what we do have. Okay, so this is what we have, and this is our container with a background color of white, that is BG white, and that text. We can add some padding onto this, and we have P. So with padding we have P, that is defining padding top, bottom, left and right. We just put P and you have that. In case you want padding on the left and right, we have what we call PX, that is padding X, and we can use 4, and we say padding Y of about 6. So we come and we do have something like that. We do proceed, and then inside this div we can create 2 more divs. For example, I will create this first div and a second div, and in the first div, in the first div, I'll give it a width of a half, that is 50%, and then I can give this also width of a half, and I can write it in this way. Open these brackets, and I can say 50%. I will give this a color, and I will say BG green. I will say BG green of about 500, and I will give this a BG of blue of about 500 as well, and I can give this a height of about I can say height full, that is it has to take up the entire height of it takes up the entire height of the mother container. And then I will give this also a height to be full, and I have flex here. Okay, so we can check this out and see what we do have. Okay, we do have this. Can we add some content into these boxes? We can define a width for this, and we can say maybe we want a width of about 200 pixels. We can look at this. Okay, we can give it about 1000 pixels. We do have that 1500 pixels. Okay, that's way too much. I'd say about 1200 pixels, and we do have this. So these are our 2 divs inside it. I think you can see the magic of Tailwind. We don't need to go and write so many classes and all that. We have predefined classes that we use right here, and we don't need to go on writing classes like we did. We go to the styles and we do all that. No, So I will proceed, and I think I can add some content inside the first box, and I can say h2, and I will say book with us. And I can also do this, I give it a class, and I can say it has a color. I can say text white, and I can say text large, and I will say font bold. So when you do check this, we have a bold, and then we can give some padding onto this, and we can say p4, that is padding 4. So we do have that, and we can add some lorem. I can add a p tag with some lorem of about 40, and we do check this, and we have this. So the reason it's overlapping, it's because we defined a height, and we don't need to we will remove this height from the mother container. We can remove this height, and then we'll let the content define the height, and we do have something like this. So we have book with us, and we can add an image on the other side, and I will come here and say we have an image. Can just do this. We do have an image. Alt is image, alternative text. Then we can get an image from the internet, that is, you can head to freepik.com, and we can say coding. So we can take up some image. If we can choose a free image here, this is premium. Okay, we can take up this. Okay, we can take up this image, and we can download this. Okay, I do open this. I think I have to extract it here. Did I just extract this? Okay, I will extract here. I think I do have this. Let me check what's in here. Okay, I have one image here. Let me just extract files out, and I do have this. I only need this image. I will take it back and create a folder called assets. So inside this folder, I can now paste this. Okay, so I want this image, and I will just head to assets, import this image, and then I can give this image a class, and then I can define its width. I can say width of about can I say full? Let me say full and see. Back to this. So width full, I do have this image filling the whole entire div that I do have. So what I will do next is, in our body, I will head to our style, and I will give it some padding, and I will give it a padding of about 30 pixels, and I want, okay, this is it. And then book with us, I will head back, and with this green, where is green? Okay, with this green div, I need it rounded. I will say border, and I will say rounded, full. Okay, oh, this is a lot. Rounded, I will say large. See what I do have. Okay, I think that's okay, and I think you can see it's really coming out well. After all this, I can say maybe down here after my p tag I do have another maybe an h4 saying why choose us, and I can say this is, I can give it a class, and I will say font bold, and I can say text XL, that is the font size, and let me say text 2XL. Okay, you can give it some padding on the top, say padding Y of about 6. Okay, that's okay, and I can write some short notes about us. I can say row name 30 as well, and I think I do have this. So what happens is all the styles we are writing are for mobile. So how do we write responsive with Tailwind? So you will find that every time you write these classes are used for apply to the mobile view. So when you do choose this, you will find that all these are being applied on your mobile. So how do you write responsive in Tailwind? So we head back, and our first place will be this mother div, and looking at this, we have a width of 1200 pixels, and this is on a small device. So to define which width we want on a small or big device, we always use, by default this is on a small device. So we will define this. We do what we call we have MD, we have SM, that is on a small medium, and then we have MD on a medium device, and then we have LOG, that is on a large device. So initially we want this to apply on a large device, and we'll use LOG, and we shall put this, and then when it comes to a smaller device, we can define width to be about let me say 440 pixels. Okay, shall look at that and see. So we say MD, it means on a medium device. Let's say on a tablet, we need a width to be about 80 pixels. So let's look and see. On a smaller device, it is this written with nothing like if you want you can say SM, but by default this is without anything preceding. It is on a smaller device. And then on a large device we do have, on a medium device we do have MD, and on a large device we have LOG, that is large. So we can take a look at this and see what we do have. So we still have the same thing, and the moment we disable this on a large device, I will cut it out and we see what happens. Okay, we will have something like this. What does it mean? This means that when we do want, we have this, and I will use my emulator, and we do have this on a smaller device. So we head back and say this is we can say about 400 pixels. See what we have. That's what we do have. And one thing you have to put in mind is you need also to look at this, and on a large device, remember we have flex, and this flex is applying on a smaller device. So we need on a large device. So on a smaller device, we want flex direction to be column. So we shall say flex col, that is flex, that is, those are columns, and we look at this, and we do have these two changing to flex direction column. That's on a smaller device, but you'll find that it's the same thing we do have on a large device, and on a large device we need this to be in a row. So we will come and say md, and we say flex row. So when we say md flex row, we head back, and you find that we get this back to the way it was. And when we switch to the mobile view, you will find that we have it in a row. And on a larger device, let's say a tablet, on a tablet we still have this width. On a tablet, let's say this is 1000. So on a tablet we do have a width of 1000, and this is what we have on a tablet. And on a smaller device, let's say a phone, we do have this. So we can work on the width of the other inner containers as well. For example, we have a width of a half, and by default we want width to be full. And then on a smaller on a medium device, we want it to be a half. So we say md width would be a half, and then we apply the same for this. We need to say width should be full, and on a medium device width should be a half. So we shall come and check it out once again, and this is what we have. On a mobile device we do have it this way, and on a medium device, that is on, let's say, an iPad, we do have it like this, and on a, let's say, a MacBook, we do have it this way. So this is it for responsive in a Tailwind. We do use that, we do use this. Check it out. We use md for the medium device, log for the large device, and that by default whatever class we write will apply on all, but by default it is taken to be on a smaller device. So it is what we call mobile first styling, and this time it only looks at a mobile view, and it will take all classes to be applying on a mobile view. And if you need any change on a large device, you need to use md or log, that is for medium devices and larger devices. I think responsive with Tailwind is kinda easier. So when you look at this, we can give it some gap. So after defining our flex, we can say we need a gap of about 4, and when we say we need a gap of about 4, I think we now have a gap between these two. Let's see. Okay, so this is, I think, okay, and I think we shall create an entire full project using Tailwind, CSS, because it's the trend and it's what we shall be using over time to build all projects. Because look at this, this is so easy. This is time saving. This is not so hectic as it may be, like you need to define classes and all that. You don't need to write so much hectic classes. You only need to know what you're working with, and that's very simple.